Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse out of the theater movie thoughts. Maybe I might come back and do a review, but this movie with raw emotion just after seeing it, I don't know what the hell I watched. So, with this, spoilers ahead. If you have not watched the movie yet, watch the movie because I'm going into spoiler territory. If you do not want to be spoiled, I'm telling you now. Spoiler warning. So, going into this movie, it shouldn't have even been called Across the Spider-Verse. Like, real talk, we should have called this Spider-Man the Great Easter Egg. It's the Great Easter Egg, Miles Morales, Charlie Brown. This is what it is right here. It was so many Easter eggs in this movie. It's more Easter eggs than the story of the character that you actually want to see. So the movie starts off, when you have a 2-hour and 16 movie, a 2-hour, 16-minute long movie that is a two-parter. Oh, yes. Oh, man, I got to get into it. This is a two-parter. This is the first of the duo, or whatever the hell you want to call it. Not trilogy, but sequel. This is the first. So it's going to be a trilogy altogether, but this is the part 2. And there's going to be a part 3, or it's going to be a part 2 to this. Oh, yes, I know I'm making it confusing, but this is the multiverse here, people. And in this multiverse, we get movies that suck. Oh, yes. So let's get into it. The movie starts off with Gwen Stacy as the Ghost Spider, or Spider-Gwen. Oh, wow, we can't even call her Spider-Gwen anymore because that must be sexist or whatever. So she is the Ghost Spider. And it takes up a good couple minutes in her realm, in her universe, where we find out what happened to Peter in her world. She may or not had killed her friend. Oh yes. And this Peter was the lizard. Oh my gosh. So yeah, everything that was like a mystery in the first film, they wanted to come back and just explain and give more in-depth synopsis on stuff that we really didn't need to know and didn't really care to know, and stuff that was going to ruin the intrigue of the first movie. So I'm going to get more into that. So we start off with Ghost Spider. She ended up dismantling Peter, which was the lizard Linguini, the lizard man, the King Koopa. So she got King Koopa, and her father caught her, and I guess her father thought that she killed Peter Parker. So we get the J. Jonah Jamesons across all the universes. They all the same annoying guy that's voiced by J.K. Simmons. So he gets the chick. But what I don't get was they focus on Gwen way longer than I would have liked them to. So to get back into the multiverse of madness, we get somehow, one way or another, we get a Vulture from a different universe. And I was gonna say she, but there's so many she's in this movie, but Vulture comes and just straight up demolishes a museum or mausoleum, wherever the hell it was. Miguel O'Hare shows up. You thinking, oh man, Miguel finna be this badass. He has a few badass scenes when he shows up, but ultimately he a chump. He's dead ass a chump. Oh boy. So we get to see Miguel O'Hare. He's being a chump and he needs assistance. So does he call on any Spider-Man to come help him? No. His backup is a pregnant Spider-Woman on a motorcycle. So being barefoot and pregnant in a kitchen is oppressive, but being bootstrapped on a motorcycle and still pregnant in the workforce fighting, that's empowering. Okay. I know y'all not seeing me, but I'm holding up my thumb and I'm sinking into the lava like Terminator. So just skimming ahead, we have a dynamic where Gwen Stacy was like, you know what, I can't even stay in my university anymore because her father, the only person she had left, now knows her secret identity, and he's being a complete dickwad. He's like, yo, I still gotta arrest you. So they tame her father, and they take Gwen, and Gwen is just in the Spider Society. The Spider Society is like the Illuminati in the failed Doctor Strange universe. You know how we said Doctor Strange Universe of Madness was crazy? This film here is crazy too. So now we get to the part with Miles. Miles is doing his damn thing. He redesigned his suit. He got a little bit taller, you know. We happy for the mans. Boy out here eating, out here thriving, you know, doing the whole balancing act of school and being a hero. So he gets his nemesis. He gets his villain Spot. And starting off, Spot was kind of a lame villain, like not even a villain of the week. But boy, Spot is the equivalent of America Chavez. And I want to see what they're going to do with part 2, but the way part 1 got me, I'm like, yeah, it's going to possibly underperform. So, we got Spot. Spot is doing the villain thing. He's doing the chuckles, the laughing, the moo-ha-ha-ha, stuff like that or whatever. You know, getting the audience all riled up. So, Miles and this man's fight takes a little bit longer than it needed to. Miles' father gets dragged into it. And it's like, okay, this fight is going on way too damn long. And it's almost a scene where Miles' father could have just bit the dust. It was so many near-death occasions where Miles' father could have bit the dust. It's like they was leading us up to the point of where we're going to think that Miles is going to actually lose his father. But I'm not going to get to that part right now. So apparently the Spot guy disappears, but then he learns that he has the ability to go into different multiverses. Ooh, like I said, like American Chavez. And he does that. He goes into different multiverses. So he becomes an anomaly. He's something that is strange in this timeline. Well, he went to a different timeline to alert the Spider Society. So when it comes to Miles' universe, they chatted up a bit. And then we learn that Gwen is here because she is watching Spot. But guess what? Spot does what his assignment is. He knew what the assignment was. He wanted to recreate dark matter. And once he got into the dark matter, he starts traveling all across all these multiverses. Just going, until he gets to the huge and bigger Spider Collider. No, not Spider Collider. The Hydrogen Collider. I mean, if you want to call it what it is, you can call it HARP. You know, that thing that uses dark matter that goes into different multiverses. Because I dead ass think we're in a multiverse right now. But anyway, Miles follows Gwen into the multiverse, and they end up in Mumbai Hatton. It's basically like the New York version of India. So we get like a full Hindi Spider-Man. So everything that made Miles kind of unique, stand off in his own way, is kind of diminished a little. And maybe not even a little, like a whole lot, because it's like a crap ton of Spider-Man in this movie. It's like, oh, you're Spider-Man, I'm Spider-Man too. It's like what we thought made Miles different kind of didn't in this movie. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's still the main protagonist, but not really. Not quite. So in this universe, we learn that, or at least we're watching how things play out. So Spot goes to the bigger Hydrogen Collider, and then boom, he becomes like this omnipotent god. And so while Miles was there with Gwen and that local Spider-Man, Spider-Punk shows up. Spider-Punk is a funny character. So he mentions the whole fascist and capitalism thing. It's like, bruh, this is not how that works. This is not supposed to be that meta preachy thing, but you are doing that. You can't rage against the machine and you are the machine. It's like, bruh, just stop it. Don't do it. It looks bad. It does look bad. And it's like the hairstyle he had under the mask was like, I don't see it. I didn't see how it would fit. I thought Miles was out here pulling off circus tricks, fitting all that hair under his mask, but Spider-Punk takes the cake. And like I said, it just kind of makes Miles seem a little bit not much of a big deal. Where it's like, damn, we got all these Spider-Men here. They can do the same thing as Miles, the webs, this, that, and the third. So an event is happening. Miles saves some people. And then we learn that, hey, headquarters wants all the Spider-Men to go back to headquarters. You like, oh crap, cool. Miles is just ecstatic. He like, yeah, he wants to get into the Spider Society. Miles wanted to join the Illuminati. So he goes to the headquarters. Miguel O'Hare is in his fifi. This man is angry. Like, when they say he has like the vampire fangs and all that kind of stuff, this dude, you would think the one character that they would stretch this 2 hour, 16-minute movie on and give like a full in-depth synopsis on like how he became Spider-Man, why he's so freaking cool, or at least gives off the aesthetic of being cool. They gave this man like a brief little comic book introduction, like, hey, I'm Miles, not Miles, I am, what's the dude's name? I am Miguel O'Hare, and I was this universe's only Spider-Man. I mean, dude had vampire fangs. It's like, bro, how could you not think this dude was lit? But he had a cape too. It's like, oh, I wanted to like this character, man. I wanted to, but he was weak sauce. So continue, like I was saying, they meet Miguel O'Hare with Miles, and the audience meets Miguel O'Hare, and dude is straight up a dick. Like, yo, you don't belong here. I mean, he was just giving Miles the stink eye. I'm like, why are they giving this man the stink eye? So then Miguel calls the algorithm, whatever that female was, a female algorithm. Ooh, wow, okay. The female algorithm, and she is to show like everything that's going on. For some reason, they think that having Batman's storytelling camera where it can like scan an environment and replay the whole event, they copied that flow. That's what they did. They just showing like the full, like, hey, this is events that we can see happening. They went like Batman and Minority Report. So we see that, damn, I'm forgetting something. What am I forgetting? Okay, yeah. So we see that it's events in this storyline called canon events. So we see the Spider-Verse. This is where we get to see the tangling and the universes and whatever, the web of shadows, whatever you want to call it, like the web of fate. There we go, the web of fate. We can see everything that will like happen into like the other Spider-Mens or Spider Peoples, because it's gender fluid, because we got men's and women's. So we see all the different spiders in their different universes, who they lost, what inspired them become them, what was the catalyst to push them. So we learn that in this canon universe, certain people that were supposed to die don't die, like Final Destination. Then you can cause spots, you can cause black holes in the other universe because you saved a person. I have a question about that now. Maybe I can go deeper into that, but this is just the after theater reaction, just thoughts, just me giving you the laydown of what happened. So we learned that if you save somebody that was destined to die, that wormholes will open in that person's universe, basically like how Thanos snapped everybody into existence. So if you save everybody, then the Thanos snap, or just that erasing of that existence, will happen. And then we learned that maybe why Miguel O'Hare is such a sourpuss is because in an alternate universe, he died, but he had a family. So the Spider-Man Miguel O'Hare went to that universe to live out that timeline where he was happy and not such a sourpuss. But then Wouldn't you know it? Yes, that universe is destroyed, and just like that, it was like, huh? I don't think that's how that's supposed to work, but that happened. And now, because of the events that we know that Miles saved somebody in the Indian Spider-Man's universe that is causing a black hole, and because the Spot character became this multi-dimensional entity, he says he created Miles. He created this Miles Spider-Man, and then this Miles Spider-Man created him. So they are linked. So when he became the ultimate deity, this is the cool part. This was the part that made my nutsack tingle. Miles could damn near see the future. Oh yes, he could see the future with this dude. Quantum fate where they was just tied. And Miles could see that he was gonna save the Indian dude, or the Indian dude was gonna also be his father. So him saving the Indian professor or Lieutenant Singh is also gonna be like some kind of alternate universal event where his father was also going to try and save somebody but wasn't going to make it. So this is where we're getting at. We're getting at the League of Spiders, the Spider Society, the Spider Illuminati, keeping Miles from saving his papa. Like even Miles, like, yo, this is an intervention. Like all these spider people showed up, and it's like I said earlier, the great Easter egg hunt. Cause it's so many. So many. We see like the Tobey Maguire. We see like the Andrew Garfield. We even see like the Donald Glover Prowler. It's like, bro, it's so many Easter eggs. It's like everything they could have did with the story in this movie to like wrap it up. So this is like the second film that we get, and then we hope to see the third film where it's like something completely different, completely not tied to this storyline whatsoever. But no, we get Easter egg galore. Spider-Man, Miles' version, is supposed to let his father die. He's supposed to just stay there and let his father burn. And he's supposed to just take it because he's Spider-Man. You take loss, and then you also take the happiness whenever it comes. And Miles was like, nah. So that's where we get this whole scene of all the spider people that's trying to chase Miles. Miles is on his own. And in the trailer, they made it seem like, man, Miguel O'Hare was a threat. Miguel O'Hare was weak sauce to Miles. Miles was, if this was a boxing match, you know how like the ref says like how many hits or how many points someone has. Miles has so many points on this dude. It's like, Miguel, as swole as your ass is, as red as your eyes are, you got dinged up by, I think Miles said he was 15. Maybe he's still a teenager, but I forget like what his age was in this film because he got a little bit bigger. Miles whooped Miguel O'Hare's ass. Miles escapes the clutches of the Spider Illuminati, and he's in the lair. And they introduced when Spider-Man, the Miles version, went to the lair, that they have a machine that can sense where your timeline is and send you back. So Miles goes there, and I crap you not, Miles has to like use his invisibility power or whatever to be unchecked by, get this, an AI avatar spider person. I'm like, so the Spider Verse is the Matrix as well? So you can just plug in and get into the Spider Verse via a headset? I don't care about the whole it was a black chick thing either. It's just the Matrix also is the Spider Verse. Like, and she had an AI avatar. My eyebrow went all the way up. So the AI avatar is there with Miles, and she sees that the machine is being turned on, and it's like the machines that was in the Matrix are helping Miles get into the multiverse. I could get so deep into it, but I don't want to make this long. So anyway, Miguel shows up. He's trying to stop Miles from going to his universe. And if you can't see me, I'm doing the parentheses fingers, his universe. So Miles is looking at the AI chick, and the AI chick has the ability to reset the machine, basically canceling Miles' order and making his ass stay in that universe. But she allows it to go through, so Miles escapes. And Miguel O'Hare, being a sourpuss, he's like, "Yo, Gwen, you need to leave." He sent her ass back to her universe. He sent Peter J. Parker, or Peter B. Parker, Peter J. Parker, whatever. He sent his ass back, and then we get to the beloved Spider B. Parker, Peter B. Parker, whatever. The fat simp Spider-Man. Yeah, this version he has a child. Him and Mary Jane hooked up, and he still looks like a slob. Like, this dude is supposed to be Spider-Man, but yeah, he still walks around in a bathrobe. Whole fight scene. I'm going back. I'm going back. Like I said, I didn't write down anything. Maybe I should have wrote down something. So, going back to when Miguel and Spider-Man was fighting. Miguel diminishes Miles' character a little bit more than I was expecting. I was like, damn, like Miles taking a backseat in this movie, but when he told him certain things, I was like, damn, like this isn't gonna be a fun movie like the other one was, is it? So Miguel straight up was like, yo, you was an accident. You wasn't even meant to happen. The spider that bit you was from universe 42. And in your universe, it wasn't supposed to be a Spider-Man. The Peter Parker in that universe died to protect you. And if that Peter Parker didn't die, if that spider didn't bite you or whatnot, Spot wouldn't have happened. None of this stuff would have happened. I'm like, huh? Like I said, the mystery and the intrigue of the first one, they dead ass had to explain and give away all the intrigue and mystery and ruin it. Like, I'm not even Miles, and I felt defeated. I was like, damn, like, so you tell me the first movie, everything that was kind of nice and magical and uplifting and fun was like, nah, that wasn't supposed to happen. You was an accident. You ain't meant to be. And I mean, he just straight up going like, damn near on some prejudice shit to Miles. I was like, damn. Like, I felt bad for this boy. So Miles is lingering on everything that Miguel said to him while he's swinging in this universe that resembles his home. So he goes to his house. He's like, I'm home. He happy. Then his mom comes to his room. Miles is contemplating what he should do next because he still has on his uniform, but he put on some human clothes when his mom enters his room. And then he's like, yo, mom, something I want to tell you. I want you to always know, or at least I want you to promise that, hey, if I tell you something, you're going to still care for me and not think of me differently. So Miles straight up was like, yo, I'm Spider-Man. Then the mom was like, you playing, right? Like, you cosplaying or something? And then we see Miles glitch. And it was like, damn. Damn. And then Miles was like, yo, I'm not in my universe. I was like, ah. It took 2 hours and 16 minutes for this boy to go home. But he didn't go to his home. He went to the spider that bit him home. And this is the realm where it wasn't a Spider-Man. It also ties back to when Spot, being the scientist that he was, brought the spider from the first movie that bit Miles. That was the spider from the 42 universe. It's like, damn. As much as I like that y'all are tying loose ends and bringing in this and that and the third, it's like, I didn't really want to know that. Could have just left all that alone and did something different, but Spot brings in the whole universal thing. So he, not universal, but multiversal. There we go. So then we see Uncle Aaron is alive in his universe. And while Uncle Aaron is alive in his universe, Miles' father is deceased in his universe. And then we get the prowler scene. Bruh. We already, like I said, it's gonna be spoilers. So we already kind of know if the Uncle Aaron is not the prowler, then who in the family will be the prowler? Then is it just revealed that Miles in this universe, because there was no Spider-Man, and because his father's deceased, that he's the prowler. And then this Miles is evil. He doesn't even want the Spider-Verse Spider-Man Miles to go back home. So with all that mustering up, we see Gwen go to different universes and assemble her squad, which is like Spider-Man Noir, the anime Spider-Man, Spider-Ham, Spider-Punk, the Indian Spider-Man, and the movie ends. So that's what we get at with this being a two-parter. It's like, yo, they did so much with the first movie, and the first movie was like an hour and some change. It's like, how? What? Oh my gosh. Man. This movie feels like a multiversal kick in the nuts. So we understand that we're in the wave and the era of diversity and all that. But the storytelling took a back seat for Easter eggs. It was like, no. And they did the whole gag with the three spider guys pointing at each other. And like I said, they had the Donald Glover. They even mentioned or even had like the Asian lady from the Venom universe. I was like, are you serious? Like, for real? Like, thinking back on all the Easter eggs they put in this movie, or at least the effort they put forth for the Easter eggs, it's like we couldn't get a more progressed story with Spot and Miles being in the wrong universe. It's like, bruh, that right there is a story in itself. Like, we get it, all right. It's tugging on the heartstrings to have all the Spider-Men gang up on Miles because they want his father to die. Even then, it's like, yo, that's not very Spider-Man-y. It's not very Spider-Man-ish. I thought they were gonna do something where they like introduced the cosmic spider, where the Peter of a certain universe like killed off other Peters and drained their abilities and all that kind of stuff like that. I thought they was gonna go that route, but no, it's like, Miles, we want your father to die. And if he doesn't die, then it could cause a cannon, and with that cannon that sucks up one universe, all our universe could disappear. So sacrificing one man's life to save the lives of other multi-universes does sound noble and all that kind of crap, but it's like, Miguel, didn't you have a universe be destroyed because you died? Like, I want to get more into questions like that, because it's like, but y'all had a universe get erased. So how many universes have to get erased before y'all be like, okay, we need to take this seriously and not just keep on erasing universes, because then all of our universes will be at stake. So it's like, y'all play around with one universe and one minority report where something bad could happen, but it may not happen or it doesn't happen. But it's like, huh? What? Now we getting into the whole infinity Endgame dilemma, where it's a two-parter, where the first half is like, oh my gosh, and then the second half is possibly gonna be underwhelming. It's like, bro, the whole Gwen Stacy story, you know how the Gwen Stacy story gets revolved, going back to Gwen Stacy or Spider-Gwen, her story gets revolved because now we know that, hey, police chiefs that are close to Spider-Man end up getting deceased. So Spider-Gwen, when she went home, because like I said, she got sent home, she went home, we see that her father's on the couch, and then Gwen is like, he's probably still a jerkwad, a dickwad. She about to leave, he comes into the room, she web slings the light, and he knows that she is Spider-Gwen now and all of that cool stuff. So they end up having a nice heart-to-heart, and now we discover that you can change fate, because Gwen Stacy's father was a lieutenant and or a captain, but guess what? he quit the force. So I guess since he was a captain or a police officer, he represented the law like Judge Dredd. That now he's not a police officer anymore, so his life is spared. So Final Destination only targets police officers that are close to Spider-Man. Interesting. Very, very interesting. It's so. This is like I said. This is just my first time watching the movie. Obviously, I'm gonna watch it again because, like I said, there's some fight scenes that's like, all right, I like that, but it's dead ass. Like if I think about it, it's only maybe 2 fight scenes in this movie. Like you got Miles fighting Spot, and then you got Miles fighting like the Spider Society. And that's about it. Like, well, I'll take that back. Then you had Gwen and Miguel O'Hare and the pregnant Spider Lady fight a Mosaic, Mid-Journey Vulture. Now, don't get me wrong. With this movie, all the story stuff that I'm mad about, the art is still here. The art still looks pretty freaking good. So when we saw Spider-Punk, it's like Spider-Punk was like in shades of gray. It's like he wasn't Spider Noir where he was like black and white, but he had like his own color palette to him. He even had like his guitar have like its own shading or shadow, if you will. So the animation quality is here. Animation looks good. Voice acting, music, all this stuff, good, but the Easter eggs went overboard. It was like a smorgasbord of Easter eggs. You know how it's like a feast or a buffet where it's like you spend like this much and you can get all this food. It's like, bro, all that food, don't get me wrong, to the mind it look good, but the calories and the damn diabetes and the high blood pressure you're about to get, it's like, you finna have a lifetime complication with some stuff right here. So, like I said, this is the after theater thoughts of this film. It's like, man, you think you finna get a fun movie. Like, they even introduced, like, the Spider-Man universe in Lego form. It's like, oh, you think this finna be fun? Whoop-de-woo. Like, they kind of undo the first film. It's like, damn. Don't get me wrong, Miles is still Miles. He's still like, you know what? I can be an accident. I can do this. I can be that. I can not be the one. It's like, bro, they like dead ass soldiers, man. He's not Neo. He's not the one. He's an accident. It's like, And then have this man come face to face with the alternate version of himself, and that version is evil and planning on killing him. It's like, damn. This is how y'all gonna end this film? They end the film in the dumps. Whew. So, like I said, I'm gonna possibly rewatch this movie a lot, because, like I said, watching it in the 2 hours and 16 minutes you watch it, this is like a video game. You gotta go back and revisit some things. It might be a side character or a side quest you didn't see and didn't notice. So if you like Easter eggs and you like all that, what you missed and did you see this and Easter eggs and hidden characters and all that kind of stuff, you will like this. But story wise, it's like, yeah, y'all started off a nemesis being slept on, and then this dude progressed. And then before he can even cause the havoc that you know that he's possible of doing, y'all end it? Because the Spot deity dude told Miles that he was going to see him back home. And then just straight up leaves. It's like, dude. So y'all, they end on this man coming back to that said universe. It's like, so we don't see anything else. This is where y'all stopping at. For reals. For real. So, that being said, this movie left a sour taste in my mouth. I'm gonna watch it a few more times, but it's worth watching. But like, does it live up to the expectation of the first one? Hell no. It's not even as good as the first one. Like the first one, you would think is like something that was supposed to be one and done, but this one is the bastardization, the watering down. I don't even care about the whole diversity thing. It's like, oh, well, we got Spider-Man in a wheelchair. We got the video game Spider-Mans. We got the animated Spider-Mans. We got the UK Spider-Man. We got the Indian Spider-Man. It's like I don't really even care about that whole diversity thing. It's like, bro, this was supposed to be the Miles movie where Miles get to see and experience some of this stuff. It's like, bro, we took a back seat to give Gwen a story, and then we just, oh my gosh, there's so much to explain upon, so much to say. It's like, damn, Toby, we even saw the Toby universe in here. It's just a lot. It's a lot to unpack. So, that being said, I gave my spoiler rendition of this film. It doesn't live up to the first film, in my opinion. Let me see what the time limit was of the first. Cause I remember it being an hour, but an hour and how long? An hour and 40 minutes. So you went from a 2018 movie that was possibly a risk to the studios being an hour 40 minutes, artistic art style, fun, all that kind of good stuff, to the Across the Spider-Verse and 2 hours 16 minutes. Yeah. When they say superhero fatigue, I can definitely see it. I can sense it. So with that being said, I'm finna get up out of here. Maybe some people like this movie a little bit more than I did. Don't get me wrong, I don't hate it, but it definitely does not feel like the Spider-Man movie we watched the first time. Way too many characters, way too many big names that I could really not care about. And then they sold us out with the whole part tour. I said part tour with the two-parter. There we go. Yeah. Anyway, with that being said, I'm gonna get up out of here. Y'all have a good one. Peace.